And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day of the World Team League 2024 Summer Code A day number 2. I'm, of course, your host, Live VIP, and with me, I'm joined by these amazing teams, players, and people in the chat. We're here for the second day of Code A, and last night we featured the first day. We featured many of these teams, and so far every team is still in the bracket. As you can see here, the bracket is progressing, and there is a lower bracket. Thankfully, it is double elimination. No one has been eliminated yet, but clearly we have some more dominant teams looking strong here, advancing on. We had Club NV and Berserker Esports advance on into the second round, but we have yet to see them face off. We've yet to see them really perform here. They're in the second round. Tonight, instead, we're going to be featuring some new teams, some joint teams. Let's go. I am here for it. Tonight is going to be Twisted Fairy versus Hyperberg and Offside versus Platinum Esports. If you're curious, Twisted Fairy, excuse me, what are you on about, mate? Twisted Fairy is a joint venture between Little Fairy and Twisted Minds. So they have kind of collaborated, brought their rosters together, and created a new team, a team to be reckoned with, a team to be respected. They have a lot of heavy hitters. Likewise, we have Team Hyper 1 joining forces with Freiburg Esports. Oh boy, here we go. Just having a bit of a closer look here at the brackets. You can see here Berserker Esports took down the Starving Camels last night. Club NV took down Team Gosu, and in the coming days, Berserker and Club NV will be facing off against each other. Honestly, Club NV is one of the stronger teams out there. They have a deep roster. We'll see if anyone can stop them from claiming this Code A championship. Scrolling down, we have the Starving Camels and Team Gosu. They were knocked down to the lower brackets, so they're going to be facing off against each other. And here are today's matches. There they are. Up first, Twisted Fairy versus Hyperberg, followed by Offside versus Platinum Esports. Oh boy. If you're curious, Offside is a academy team, or it's a branch off from Onside. Onside Gaming was acquired by Team Vitality, so Onside Gaming does not exist anymore. Instead, they've created Offside as a branch off team instead. So Offside features Firefly, Rex, and Euthermal. Be exciting to cast them later on tonight. Meanwhile, we're getting into this already. Here we go. We have our lineups. Yo, I'm loving the team logos here as well. It's great, it's great. But here we go. We have the lineups. We have Classic versus 3 Point, Nice versus 4 Jumi, and Stats versus Special. Oh my. So Twisted Fairy is basically the new Platinum Heroes. What do I mean by that? Platinum Heroes was dubbed the Platinum Protoss, or the Protoss Heroes. They were just purely Protoss players. Likewise, Twisted Fairy, purely a Protoss lineup here. Only Protoss players going to be featured, and we'll see how well they can perform, because those are some big Protoss names that they have for them. Up first, Classic versus 3 Point. Oh boy, here we go. Again, Classic, of course, one of the best Protoss players in all of South Korea. I would say Classic is top 2 Protoss alongside Hero. Hero is number 1, Classic is number 2. So he's going to be a big name here to try to bring down. We'll see if anyone can. We'll see if 3 Point can. 3 Point, he is a South Korean Zerg player. And here we go. We're diving into game 1. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Classic for Twisted Fairy. And in the top right, we have for Team Hyperberg, 3 Point. As we get into this, predictions are open. Place your bets. You have a minute or so to place your bets and to get your gamba going, Bappy. So if you're in the chat, best of luck. Best of luck with those predictions as we settle into this PVZ. An easy team to hate. Oh my. Este Classic. Calm down, Bobby. Calm down. True. Team Protoss. Team A move, Bobby. Oh god. You're an animal. Well, calm down. No, yeah, they have a lot of really good players, and I'm looking forward to cheering for them as well. I mean, how can you hate Stats, for example? Stats has joined Twisted Fairy, and he's going to be, representing them here in this team league. I know there's a lot of hype around Stats, and I'm very excited to see how well he performs. Likewise, Nice was recently picked up by Little Fairy as well. So we'll see how they do as we're settling into game number 1 on Post Youth. Now, if you're curious how this format works, Post Youth is predetermined. It is picked ahead of time, and our players are forced to play on Post Youth. Game number 2 is going to be loser's pick. Just to go over the format here, it's a best of 7. Overall, it's a best of 7 comprised by best of 2s between the players. So this series between Classic and 3-Point is a best of 2, followed by 2 more best of 2s, of course, and it is first to 4. As best of 7s are, first to 4 wins will claim the series. As we are settling in. Those have the best logos, love it, it's great. I love the brain behind the fairy. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. As I just turn up the sound a little bit here, it does seem to be a little bit low. Hopefully it doesn't blare us. As we do see 3-Point going for the gold base. Oh my, wait, my apologies. Not going for the gold. He's actually rushing his drones across the map. Potentially going for the gold base. We'll see how he pieces together. No, we're actually going for... Wait, what? We're sealing the gas? Well, we're mining through. I love this. Okay. So a couple of things here about Post-Youth. One, there's a mineral wall. There is a mineral wall there for the main base. We're building a gas geyser. Why? To mine through those minerals. Can we actually mine through them, as the Adept has spotted the drones? Oh, and before we can really get cooking, it looks like we are diving on top of this and shutting it down. Aye. You can see here the Adept chasing down those drones. Gas geyser is cancelled, and 3-Point has to go back, has to race back home here, tucking his tail between his legs. Not like this, Papi, as the cheese gets shut down. If you're curious what was about to happen, so if you're curious, a drone or any kind of worker can mine through a mineral patch and it holds minerals, right? If you take the gas geyser, you can rotate your drones between the minerals and gas and delete the resources in your hand. So you have minerals, then you go into the gas geyser, it destroys the minerals, it gets gas. You go to the minerals, it destroys the gas, it gets minerals, and you can just perpetually mine through. That was the plan for 3-Point. But that plan is not coming to fruition. It looks like, oh, we have a little bit of connection issues here to the... looks like the clean feed has some connectivity issues, unfortunately. But regardless, Lings are going to be flooding across the map. It looks like they break through the first Adept, but we do manage to wall off here behind it. We do manage to ward off again. 3-Point still completely all in. He's flooding Lings across the map. It's all or nothing for 3-Point. We're not turning back. We're not... Oh, there's no plan B. There is no other way about this, and one way or another, the game is about to end. Either 3-Point breaks through or he dies trying. As we do see, the Oracle has arrived. The Lings are being forced back. Now 3-Point starts to drone, but look at the worker count here. 3-Point is down to 15 workers. Barely has an economy to speak of, and now droning is just too little too late. 3-Point is so far behind, and Classic, he's able to stabilize and... yeah, just sit back on 2 bases. There is no Spore Crawler. We get 3 more drone kills. Oracle gets away. And 4 drone kills may not sound like a lot, but when you're down to 17 workers, that is everything. We get another drone kill. Another 2 workers as well. Aye. Yeah, and there it is. GG gets called. The game is over. The cheese has failed. And the Classic takes game number 1. GG. A very fast game there between our players makes sense. I didn't even get to introduce our players properly. Again, everything happens so quickly. 3-Point, if you are unfamiliar, he is a South Korean Zerg player, and 3-Point is the cheesiest Zerg player in all of South Korea. He's the cheesiest Zerg. He's an animal, Pop. He's an animal, and this is what I expect. I expect nothing but cheese out of him, nothing but all-ins, and what I love is that this all-in that he had planned on Post-Youth was pretty creative, right? That's what I love about these new maps, is that it allows you, because the maps are so new and so fresh, and because there are so many interesting features about the new maps, you can come up with these weird specific strategies. And that, for example, that one there, you know, pooling 3 workers to mine through those minerals, to take a gas geyser as well, like, it makes sense and it was very smart. Unfortunately, it got scattered, right? Like, unfortunately, because it got seen, Classic shut it down. But if that hadn't happened, I can see it working. And here we go, we're loading into game 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have Classic for Twisted Fairy. And in the top right, we have his opponent, we have 3-Point for Hyperberg. Ooh, he cancels that egg. You know what that means? 12 full. 12 full is on the way. 3-Point throws down the spawning pool. There it is. The 12 full is on the way. As we did mention, cheesiest Zerg player in all of South Korea in, yeah, I'm confidently saying South Korea. When it comes to Europe, I'm not so sure. You got players outside of Korea, you know, you have players like Mio Micah, for example. You have Bly as well. There's other animals out there. You have Reaper in the Americas. There's other animals out there that I'm sure would embrace 3-Point. He's a great guy. I love I love him, Papi. I love him. But here we go. We are going to be sending links across the map. Classic coming in with the probe scout. He hasn't checked the main base yet, but there we go. The probe does slip into the mineral line. He confirms the timing of the hatchery. Sorry, of the gas geyser. Gas, or the lack of gas. The spawning pool. Classic knows exactly what's going on. Classic is aware, and he should be preparing back at home. And you can see here, Classic is delaying his expansion, going for a 2-gate opener. This is exactly the response you want to go for against a 12 pool. Now, this isn't just a 12 pool. There we go. I like that we have a second pylon. I was going to say, this isn't just a 12 pool. It's a 12 pool on Ghost River. So it hits that much faster. The boys have been pulled. Oh my god. It's all or nothing here for 3-point. The boys have been pulled. We're going to try and drone drill past that worker. Do you have the cybercore being thrown down? And is that a full wall? If it is, then we're going to be safe and sound. The drones, they have rocked up, and I believe it is a full wall. Again, very good reaction, very good response by Classic. Fully walls off. The drones are trying to work their way through that cybercore. Zealot is on the way, and the Zealot will pop out. The cybercore is taking quite a bit of damage. Actually, we're going for the gateway. My apologies. Yeah, we're drone drilling here for the gateway. Secondary walls on the way behind this. And Classic, can he wall off in time? Oh! As we do break in, we do bust into that natural base. Cybercore's now done. We're going for the pylons, and boys have to be pulled. Here we go, worker on worker action. The Zealot gets surrounded. Big surround on the Zealot. And the Zealot, it may be able to go down. No good control here at a Classic, but it looks like the Zealot will fall. Probes are falling as well. The Lings are wreaking havoc here. We get one more Zealot once again, though it gets surrounded. The Zealot gets surrounded, and do we have enough? Lings are going down, but so are the workers, and 3 points. It looks like he has done it. He takes out every single worker, takes out all the Zealots. He's going for the pylon as well. And mate, I'm telling you, 12 fools on Ghost River, they are built different. They hit different. The pylon goes down just in time. The Adept does not make it out. And it looks like we may be tying up the series 1-1 here. Yeah, this pylon, it's not going to finish. It's never going to finish. And 3 points. Again, mate, he does almost the impossible here. He does the impossible. Classic was coming in as a favorite player. GG gets called, and 3 point ties it up. Let's go. Let's go, mate. We were seconds away from that Adept coming out. Not just that, though. A shout out to 3 point because he was so quick to surround those Zealots, right? A shout out to 3 points and Funada Classic because his Zealots, both of them got surrounded almost instantly. His first and his second Zealots. Upon seeing that, that was game. You know, the Zealots going down instantly, the boys being forced and pulling as a result as well. That was a brutal hold there. And again, specifically on a Ghost River, switch over. Specifically on Ghost River, the rush distance by ground is 31 seconds. So it's actually a couple seconds sooner. And because of that, again, every second counts here in StarCraft 2. Every second does count, and it does impact the game here. As we saw with the Adept, for example, as we saw with the defense, as we saw with the failed secondary wall, it does hit different. GG. GG, well played. We're tied up 1-1. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, who bet? Oh my god, someone got a massive payout. Let's go. Only one person bets on the 1-1 scoreline. Fernantok in the chat, papi. Oh my god. Look at that. Sorry, 2 people. Fernantok and the Indarial. Let's go. The payday is real. I mean, mate, you gotta have faith here in the cheese, especially in a best of 2. What I should emphasize, the power of a best of 2, not even the power of best of 2, the power of loser's pick. There's no vetoes. There is no vetoes. Because of that, specifically in WTL, you got to see maps like Radisson Station last season more often, maps like Hardlead as well, maps like, oh god, the other one, not Alcyone. Equilibrium. Equilibrium was another one as well. Because there are no vetoes, because it's loser's pick, you could come out with Radisson Station and Equilibrium, maps that are considered a little bit more imbalanced, or maps that are favoring certain playstyles, and make use of that and take advantage of that as well. That's exactly what we saw here. You know, in a standard series, I'm sure Ghost River would have been vetoed. Not here. As you might have that. But here we go. We're getting into our second best of 2, and in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Nice. We have Nice for Hyperberg, and in the top right, we have his opponent. We have Jimmy for Twisted Fairy. Let's go. The PvP is here. Shout out to Jimmy for rocking that parting clan. Beautiful. Shaking my head. Regardless, we're going to be selling into this. It looks like 2 gate openers. Oh my god, we're going to be loading into Dynasty. That is an interesting one, as it looks like the observer is pointing out the parting clan tag. But yes, we are loading into Dynasty. Dynasty, for those who are maybe unfamiliar, is a map with a pocket gold base. The pocket base is a free base to be taken. It's kind of a free base to be taken. It's going to be a weird one here in PvP because obviously you can abuse this gold base with range units. And I mean, what better range unit is there than a Stalker or even Adept? So it's going to be difficult to actually take advantage and make use of that gold base. So I'm curious how we expand and where we do head. As Forjumi's going for a 2 gate opener, so is Nice. Forjumi does hide a probe out on the map, and it looks like he's going for a fake proxy pylon. Forjumi's pylon is fake. Nice's pylon, never mind. Okay, we're sticking around. But it looks like Nice's pylon is going to be a little bit more committed, as it is in the center of the map. We'll see. As for the time being, our players are scouting. They're looking for any kind of stray buildings. Pylons are done. Cyber cores are still in the way. Once they do finish, we could try to commit with some tech. And show us the robo. There it is. Proxy robo here from Nice. It's going to be a 1-base all-in from our blue Protoss player. Forjumi, his pylon was a fake. His pylon was a fake out. And Nice's was real. Forjumi has yet to probe scouts, which means he doesn't know. He's in the dark as to what is coming out, what is coming his way. And concerned Stalkers are being produced here from our green Protoss. Stalkers on the way. Nice going for Adepts instead. Now, because he opened up with double Adept, he could go for, instead of Immortal first, he could go for a War Prison and try to get the Adepts into the main base. No, we missed the scout! No! Forjumi, he barely does not see the proxy, and he did not scout the main. He's not aware of how much danger he's in. Oh, I spoke too soon, as it looks like the robo has been spotted. Forjumi, he does get eyes on this. He's aware. Already has a robo on the way, and is looking to get into his own Immortal production. Let's go. As you do see, the Adepts moving on out. You're going to be threatening that main. Trying to instead, we do shade on top of that Sentry. Sentry does survive. Again, remember, the Sentry was buffed this latest patch, but it is going to be going down. Sentry does fall. No force field. Boys, they have to be fooled. Boys are being fooled. Nice. Behind this, getting into his War Prism. We have an Immortal on the way for Jimmy. Immortals in production. We are within range of the pylon. That is not Archosis pylon, by the way. Ooh, and we depower the gateways. That's massive. Gateways are depowered. No additional reinforcements outside of the Immortal. And we're going for the main. Going for that main base. Interesting that we're focusing on the gateways, and it looks like we will get one. Try to zone away the army. Stalker is going to get picked up for both players, but we do get the gateway in the end. Do manage to get that gateway. Second Immortal coming out. Do have reinforcements on the way here for Nice. For Jimmy, he throws down 2 more gateways behind his mineral line, so we'll have 3 gates up and running. Nice still has the advantage. We're going for a warp across the map. The Immortals, they go for a dive, but we have an overcharge. Good defense so far by Forjumi. Does force back the army. Does hold on to his main. And he's up to 2 Immortals. 2 versus 2 here. And Forjumi, he gets into the mineral line. He's in that mineral line. He's going for probe kills. It looks like he's not getting much done, though. Yeah, he's being forced out. The Adept is being hunted down. Nice does defend. At the same time, he slips into the main, goes for some broker kills. Does get a couple of probes. Not bad. Does get a couple of workers. Here we go. We force our way into the main base. Pylon does go down. But there are 3 immortals waiting for him. And poor Jimmy has to be very careful here with his control. Cybercore almost gets picked up. We get some decent force fields here, but it looks like for Jimmy, he's going to be able to hold on. Yeah, it does hold on to the main base, does zone away the army. We do apologize for the stuttering here with the clean feed. It's affecting the other streamers as well. Yeah, I did see Rotterdam just reported to the WTL admins as well that that again, like, the clean feed is also lagging for him, or I mean for all the casters. So it is a little bit out of our control, unfortunately. But we'll do our best. We'll do our best to cast the slideshow. We just see again for Jimmy's holding onto his main base, forcing back the army. Behind this, Nice is going for a robotics bay, going for disruptors. So he's working on disruptor production. So far, both players have done a great job here at keeping and retaining their immortal count. I believe neither player has lost any immortals. I believe. I may have missed it. Ooh, and as Nice is getting into disruptor production, we do see for Jimmy going for a Phoenix or going for a Stargate. I imagine for Phoenixes could go into Void Rays. As he's just trying to hold on to that ramp. Meanwhile, for Jimmy, finally he breaks out, going for that proxy in the center of the map. Likewise, Nice going for the worker kills instead. Ooh, getting 4 probes. At the same time, pushing up the ramp as well, going for the Cybercore. There is a backup Cybercore. It has been rebuilt. Good force fields as well from Jimmy. And can he finally get an immortal? It looks like he will not. Clutch save there by Nice. Was a clutch save. At the same time, we force a recall back home. Disruptors have arrived. And disruptors have been scouted. Yeah, we're chasing down those immortals. Trying to chase them back. Now, disruptors, they're all well and good, but because Jimmy's going into Phoenix production, he can disable them. He can lift them up. He can cancel those purification novas. There is counterplay available. Yeah, Phoenixes are revealed. Nova's going to be going up. We're thinking about it. Okay, Phoenixes are sharking around. Yeah, Nice. He cannot get close. Cannot get on this. I mean, Nice. He is mining from his gold base. But can he hold on to it? Immortal, ooh, is going to go down. Bit of miscontrol there out of Nice. Unable to save it in time. Yeah, and for Jimmy, he has control of the gold. At the same time, Adepts, get in. Adepts, they somehow slip into the main base. Probes are going down. 6 workers. The economy of Jimmy, it's in shambles, but he finds another immortal. Doesn't quite get it. Almost. You can see Nice trying to get into his own Phoenixes. He needs that anti-air. No shield battery either. Please out a Phoenix, please out a Stalker. So Nice has an overwhelming economy. He does have the economic lead, but at the same time, Jimmy has a larger army. So who comes out on top? The larger army or the better economy? I mean, as time goes on, it's going to get better for Nice. But Jimmy, he's pushing in. He's ferrying everything over, jumping the fence, jumping the gold minerals. Now, pushing into a purification nova is going to be difficult. Pushing into a disruptor. But we can go for the lift. Yeah, there it is. We lift the disruptor instantly, and for Jimmy, he's breaking through. Gets on top of the army, depowers that shield battery. We do have the overcharge, but it's going to get focused down. And it looks like for Jimmy, he has done it. He breaks through the army. GG gets called, and for Jimmy takes game number 1. GG. Again, I do apologize for the more intense stuttering that was happening there in that game. As a reminder, just for some explanation, or just to be transparent, everyone, we all cast from seeing choice here as we're getting into game 2, and spawning in the bottom of the top left hand corner, we have for Jimmy for Hyperberg, and in the bottom right, we have for Twisted Minds. Nice. I said it. Twisted Fairy. I need to get it right. No longer Twisted Minds, Twisted Fairy instead. Let's go. As Nice was doing well, to be honest. Like with his proxy robo, he was gaining ground, he was killing workers. Unfortunately, the transition into disruptors didn't really come to fruition. It didn't really pay off. Just because for Jimmy went for the Phoenixes, it was basically a hard counter. Going into all those Phoenixes, he had control of the skies, and he just completely shut down not just the disruptor production or the disruptors themselves, but also the War Prism harass as well. Just a very good response out of Jimmy. And now we're getting into game number 2. Oh boy. Now I wonder, what does Nice have in store for us? For now, it's going to be a 2-gate opener. 2-gate openers from both players. We'll see if we throw down another proxy pylon, and if we go for another proxy setup. Now it looks like for Jimmy, once again, is going for a fake proxy pylon. There it is, a pylon has been thrown down. And because it's on his side of the map, we shouldn't be committing to anything actually with that pylon itself. So for Jimmy, just trying to fake out a cheese and hoping to force an overreaction out of Nice. Just like he attempted to do in game 1. Meanwhile, we can see that Nice has not sent out any workers, which means, one, he's not scouting, but also he's not committing to any proxy of his own. Oh, and he's opening up Stargate. Okay. So Nice going for a 2-gate into Stargate. This should be for Oracle production. This should be an economic opener. Nice should be looking to expand. Assuming this is an Oracle. Meanwhile, we can see for Jimmy skirting around the edge. Trying to get additional scouting information. The goal here is basically for Jimmy, he's hiding the probe as the first 2 units come out. By the time they come out, then the probe can move in. So for Jimmy, he does avoid the first 2 adepts. Meanwhile, for Jimmy moving out with his own. Attempting to at least. Does shade across. And if either pair of adepts does shade into the main base, then we can just wreak havoc in that mineral line. So far, good reaction out of for Jimmy. Does defend. Likewise, across the map, the probe does go down. And adepts do not make it into the main of Nice either. Ooh, Nice, he even. Oh, Nice, he even almost gets caught out. Force the pull back. Yeah, adepts, they are getting trapped here. We may be able to pick one off. Meanwhile, what these adepts are doing more importantly is distracting these stalkers, dragging them away, keeping their attention at the natural. And here comes the Oracle as we shade in. Ooh, the adepts, they make their way into the main base. Oracle heads for the main as well. We got 4 probe kills. Pretty good damage. But Nice has yet to expand. Interesting, Nice. He goes for a 2nd and a 3rd Oracle's on the way. You don't typically go up to 3. So very big commitment here out of Nice. Meanwhile, he's trapped in his own main base. He's still yet to expand. Things not looking so good here for Nice. I mean, he has potential with these Oracles. Does have potential. But he needs to get damage done. Because his natural base is so delayed. There we go. Nice finally expanding. Is finally expanding. going for a robo behind this, which I do appreciate. With that robo, he should be working towards immortal production to make up for his late Twilight Council. As you have to say, Shaden once again. Forjumi just late to wall off. And the Oracles, they dive into the main base as well. They get 5 probe kills. Did I say 5? We're going to get a 6. Oh, just barely not. Shield battery does keep them alive. 5 workers go down. All 3 Oracles survive. They do make it out. And again, when it comes to how we're getting to the mid game here, Nice, well, we have an even worker count. Nice won't have blink, or his blink is going to be heavily delayed. So because his Twilight Council was thrown down later, he needs immortals. So Nice is making up for his lack of blink with immortal production. This does also mean that Nice is going to be stuck at home. He's going to be stuck at home, and Forjumi will have map control with his own blink. Forjumi will also have a more mobile army. With that, he could potentially outposition Nice, get into a main, get into a mineral line. Blink Stalkers are quite flexible units. The upside for Nice is because he went into triple Oracle, he still has something to threaten Forjumi to try to keep him pinned back at home. As you can see here, despite all these Stalkers, they're stuck in the mineral lines. They're stuck in the main bases of Forjumi because of the triple Oracle. And both players are taking their thirds. My plan was to give these points back, but Forjumi too good. Oh, it's your subconscious. Your deepest thoughts. They know, Papi. They know. They know who's gonna win. You're like, Papi, I was just going for the goof. I was just like throwing my points away. No. You know, Papi. You know who's gonna win. You're like the drunken master. You're stumbling your way into being like a millionaire with Twitch points. Oh my god. But we shall see, as Forjumi is going to be pushing through the center. We do have our pylons set up. Blink is done, by the way, bear that in mind. Now, there is a field of stasis traps. There are, I believe, 2, maybe 3 stasis traps back at home. So we have to be careful. Yeah, there's 3 of them. They are set up. Forjumi, ooh, does take one to the face. And that's exactly what I was worried about here. Big stasis does go off. Nice, buying so much time. And this is going to delay the push of Forjumi. Oracles, they get across the map, and a shield battery is not good enough. Probes, they're going down left and right. Nice, he is fighting back. Meanwhile, the stasis does run out. Maybe we have 2 more. Decent force fields. We get a lot of hull damage. You can see Nice trying to bait the army into that stasis. Juke off the blink. But Jimmy pulling back. And for Jimmy, as he's backing off, he takes a 4th. He's going for a 4th base. Still has the worker lead, but I spoke too soon. More probes are going down. Oh, getting 5 worker kills. Again, Nice's harass this game has been pretty impeccable. Whether it's Oracle harass or Adept harass, Nice has been getting a lot done. But again, he's had to get work done. And the pressure was on. Apparently Nice, he works well under pressure. He gets a sentry. Forjumi still trying to recover economically. Going for a gateway explosion. Charge is done for Jumi. Charge on the way for Nice. Getting to our upgrades. You can see Nice kind of refining his army, getting to charge little Archon Immortal. But again, Nice is going to be stuck at home until he gets his Archons out. Which is why I do appreciate that because Forjumi has map control, it's very wise of him, or again, very, very smart to just go for the 4th. Take advantage of that map control. Expand as quickly as possible. So even though Nice has been killing all these workers, because Forjumi has a faster 4th, there's a bit of a give and take there. And really those worker kills were just keeping things even. Now what I will say though, as we're getting into the mid game and as the economies are settling, is that who do I favor when it comes to their army composition? So for Jimmy, he has a massive gateway army. It's just purely Blink, Stalker, and Zealot. No Immortals, no Archons. Speaking of, Nice, he has the Immortal and Archon advantage. If the game progresses, I want to favor Nice when it comes to his army, but it looks like we catch out a free Immortal. Immortal does go down for free. Big pick off there for Jimmy. And that's what he's hoping for. But once again, there is another field of stasis traps. Oh, 3, 4 stasis traps have been thrown down. For Jimmy has to be very careful with how he does engage. As it looks like he does spot one of them. Base out one stasis, but there's still another. He sees! Much better execution here out of for Jimmy. Does better. Oh, he baits out 3. Oh my, he sees everything, Bobby. Oh my god. I mean, he has the Observer there, to be fair, just behind the Immortals. Does have the Observer. Did spot all the stasis. Very nicely done. But that's still a lot of Immortals and that's still a lot of Archons. Like, this army from Nice is still terrifying. Meanwhile, does for Jimmy see that stasis? Ooh, he doesn't. Big stasis does connect. And for Jimmy, he's forced to pull back. Stalkers, they come in, trying to pick up any kind of stray units. But Nice, it looks like he may be overwhelming. Yeah, he takes out all the Stalkers. Stalkers are going down, and Nice, he's snowballing out of control. He just has a superior army. A higher quality army here. The Archons, they just melt Zealots. Immortals, they do the same to Stalkers. And you can see you can see for Jimmy's army crumble. As we're going for another big wave of reinforcements. And in a head-on fight, for Jimmy, he cannot contest against this. He can't keep up. Not like this. At the same time, for Jimmy going for a backstab. Getting his Warp Prism across the map. Going for a big Warpin as well. We're going for a base trade. I mean, this is the only way to make this work. Going for DTs as well. We go nice. He breaks the natural, breaks into the third. At the same time, for Jimmy also going for the natural and busting into the main. Again, the base trade is the best case scenario here for Jimmy. His goal, his hope is to force his opponent to make mistakes. As Nice did recall, but he only recalls half his army. And only half the army. Stasis Trap does go up, only catching 3 Zealots. And for Jimmy, can he take the fight? Does collapse on these Archons. But Nice is coming back home. And he turns back around. The Archons do get picked up. But look at all those Zealots. Oh my god. Chasing for Jimmy down. And Nice, he still has too much. He cleans up the army, defends his bases. And even with a base trade here, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Just because Nice has such a massive supply lead, he has so much DPS available here. We go for another big weapon of Zealots, Stalkers even. Stalkers do come in. Yeah, Nice, he collapses on the 4th and the 5th. Immortals, they don't quite get caught out. Yeah, and here the writing is on the wall. For Jimmy's down to a handful of gateway units. Once again going across the map. Recall is on cooldown. Once again, the base trade is his only hope. But Nice is coming back home. For Jimmy, warping in some Dark Templar. He's going for the Observers. He's trying to. Yeah, takes control of the main base. He goes to the Observer in the main as well. His win condition is Dark Templar. I mean, it makes sense, but we have cannons. Yeah, GG gets called. He does get surrounded. And Nice ties up the zone. Like, nowadays, I think I would rate Kellezer a little bit higher, but we'll see how he does perform here. In the top left-hand corner, we have stats for Twisted Fairy. And in the bottom right, we have special for Hyperberg. Let's go. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. Predictions are open. Place your bets. Personally, I feel like this is going to be the hardest one to predict here. Like 2-0 for stats or 1-1 score. Do we even get a 2-0 for special? Special, he's got a lot of special builds. Pun intended, as he has a lot of all-ins up his sleeve as well. He can be a very tricky player. Hard to predict. I do not envy you at all. Best of luck as we're getting into this best of 2. Here we go. Stats, of course, getting into a gate expand. Getting into his own standard opener. Meanwhile, special, likewise, only going for a single gas as well. So a Rax expand at a special. This does make sense on side Delta. Winding it back a little bit here, we're loading into side Delta, one of the more defendable maps in the map pool. Has a ramp leading into the natural. So we can see that neither player is really being too aggressive here, at least in the early game. We're settling on into our game here. Ooh, special being a little bit greedy. Not only is special going for a Rax expand, which is an economic opener, but special is also skipping his Reaper. He is skipping his SCV scout and he's skipping his Reaper scout as well. I do like this from special. Against, like, on the ladder or against a more aggressive player, I think this is too risky, and I think you can punish so hard for this. But Stats is a much more standard player. Stats isn't really known for cheesing. He isn't known for going all in. So even though special won't have any scouting information, doesn't really matter because Stats isn't doing anything special. He isn't doing anything out of the norm. And special, he's taking that chance. He's taking that risk. And so far, it's paying off. So far, it is paying off. Behind this, we're getting to our add-ons. We're getting to our factory. This could be for an add-on swap into a Widowmine drop. This could be for reactor to Hellions. We have options. This could even be Hellion Reaper. Speaking of, Hellions are on the way. Behind this, we're getting into our starport. We're not committing into Reaper production. We're going for additional Marines instead. Interesting. Very interesting here. So this Hellion from special is quite necessary as that does commit to the shade. We go for the Marine. Good control out of special. Does pull back that weakened Marine. Zones away the Adept. He does defend. What I was getting at though is that these Hellions are quite necessary because special has 0 scouting information. Right now he doesn't know what tech there is. Whether it's a Twilight Council or a Stargate or even a robo-based opener, special is in the dark. The Hellions will help with that once he deals with the Adepts. One of the Hellions does get quite low. Special does keep it alive, does force back the Adepts. And we can see it is a Twilight Council opener with Blink. Ooh, a bit of a gateway explosion. It's going to be 3-gate Blink out of Stats. Not an all-in, but quite an aggressive opener nonetheless. Quite an aggressive build. Maybe a better way of putting it. Meanwhile, special continuing Hellion production, going for a Marine drop. Okay, so we're moving out with Marines and Hellions. Hellions on the ground, Marines from the sky. This is going to be a vanilla Marine drop. There's no stim, there's no combat shields, but that's a lot of Marines. Now, thankfully, because Stats opened up triple gateways with 3-gate Blink, he should have warp bins and he should have an army to deal with this. It comes down to the execution. Stats has the tools to defend, but we'll see if he can piece it all together here. As we're jumping into the main base, Stats, I believe he does have Stalkers in position. Yeah, he's waiting for the drop. Does spot the Marines. At the same time, Hellions are going for the natural. And do we have a wall? We do not. Oh, we barely do. We close that wall. We shut down the Hellions. Good defense here by Stats. The Hellions get nothing done. The drop gets nothing done. And now Stats is free to expand and take a third. So very well executed here by Stats. Again, if he had moved all of his army to defend against the drop, then there would have been an open wall. And a special would have gotten the probe kills. Would have popped off. Speaking of, Hellion drop into the main. Once again, those Stats, he did leave units in position. And special has to retreat. Does back off from there. Now, what I will say in favor of special is that even though his aggression was deflected, thankfully special didn't throw away too much. Remember, sure, his drop was pulled back, but he saved all his Marines. Like, all the Marines were saved. He did bleed out a couple of Hellions, but I think it was only one Hellion going down. The other two were saved. So at least Special, he retains his army, he retains his units for his second push. Would have been so much worse if he lost his medevac. These Hellions aren't too important. Like they don't scale well into the mid game. It's fine. It's fine. We can throw them away. More important that we save the Marines. Meanwhile, we do see Stats taking up into Robo, into Colossus production. Extend lenses on the way. Third base is being taken by Stats, and Stats, he's taken map control. Now Special is contained. Special is contained here to 2 bases, and Stats does not have to push his way in. All Stats has to do is just make sure that he's able to keep up with any drop play and delay the third base. Speaking of the third, Special does have a third CC in production, so it is not a 2 base all-in. Again, we're piecing it all together here. Not going to be a 2 base all-in. Special threatening a drop. Again, it's a risky maneuver to go for a drop just because it's the only way to be aggressive right now for Special, but at the same time, it's high risk, high reward. If he gets spotted, he will lose quite a lot of supply. So we see Special now moving out with his main army. He's going to be forcing Stats back. Special breaking free. And he may even try to commit across the map as he gets 1 Stalker. Very nicely done. Hellion goes down. Stats getting another couple of shots off. Doesn't quite get the Marauder. Hot pick up there from Special. Colossi have arrived, but the tanks are sieging. Yeah, big volley off on those Stalkers. They're very low. Here we go, we get the disables on the Colossus. Stats, he has to retreat. Yeah, big disable here. Both Colossi, they can't do anything. But it's about to run out. A very good control here of the Stats. The disable runs out. We have 3 Colossi. And we're going to shut this down. The tanks are falling one after the other. Again, very meticulous control there out of Stats. And you could argue a little bit premature from Special. The tanks go down. The army gets forced back. And this is dangerous because Special just lost his tanks. How does he defend his third? How does he defend that third base as Stats is moving out and Special, he has to make a stand. Oh, no, never mind, we pull back. Stats, he does pull back. Special, he's taking his third base, thankfully. It's getting up and running. Behind this, Stats going for a Dark Shrine. Okay, let's go. Stats is taking a 4th base and going for a Dark Shrine. I do think that Stats could have forced the issue here. At the same time, we're getting into Viking production. So the Colossi would be a little bit vulnerable, is what I will say. Special would have potentially been able to take a fight. Regardless, what's important is that Special gets his third. Yeah, Stats, he's just retreating, chilling back at home. Prism gets caught out. Very nice catch out of Special. But Stats is getting into his second Robo. And with his second Robo comes Disruptor production. So now Stats, he's hit critical mass of Colossi, which is 3. Now we're getting into Disruptor production, and Stats is just refining his army, getting further ahead, really rounding himself out. And because Stats just killed all those tanks, even though, yes, Special was vulnerable, we could have gone for a counterattack, likewise, Special has no teeth. Like, he has nothing to threaten his opponent, which is why Stats can freely expand and take up as he's doing. It isn't just the 4th base, but second Robo, we have a Forge, +2, double upgrades, double Disruptor production, Dark Shrine, DTs, like Stats is free to take up in whatever direction he wants, and that's exactly what he's doing. Oh, even getting a 5th base, oh my god. Even getting a 5th base, which I feel like is a little bit greedy there from Stats, but I mean, after that fight, he can get away with it, or at least he can try to. Meanwhile, Special pushing right through the center, knocking down those rocks. He is spotted by the Observer and the Dark Shrine. Sorry, I meant to say Dark Templar, no Dark Shrine, but he's spotted. DT gets across the map, and here we go. Special, can he commit? He has ghosts, he has EMPs. Not too much damage being dealt here. The DTs, they get 4 workers, not much else. Ooh, Stats, he's out of position. He misses the army. A big move here out of Special. Does slip past, and he will kill the third. He gets 11 probe kills. The third base goes down, and Stats, he has to catch this army. He's gonna try and hunt Special down. Nova's gonna be going up. Ooh, they graze the army. Big Nova! Big connection. Big connection here on the Bio Army. Ay. Special, he does take down the Colossi. The Vikings, they have to land. And the disables on the Stalkers, on whatever we could get. But Special, he's losing everything. Again, the Purification Novas, they were a little bit too good. He does focus on some of those Disruptors. A bit of miscontrol there out of stats. But regardless, Special, he loses everything. The Marines, the Marauders, the Vikings, the Ghosts. A very scrappy game state here. At least Special killed the base, is what I will say. At least he killed the third. But remember, Stats had a fifth. So the base count for Stats is still looking quite healthy. We're getting across the map. Disruptors have arrived. This is looking like a pretty bare bones army. There it goes off. Gets a Marine. Special threatening a dive. We have 2 more Novas left. We're down to 1. 1 more Nova as Dark Templar, they get into the natural once again. They get into the main base. More SCVs going down. And Disruptors, they continue to reinforce. Ooh. Decent connection here on Marines. And yeah, Special, he's being picked apart. There's just too much Protoss. Too much Stats. GG gets called, and Stats, he will take game number 1. Special has an iconic starport based all-in. I'm curious if he's thinking of that. Meanwhile, in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Stats for Twisted Fairy. And in the top right, we have Special for Hyperberg. Here we go. Here we go as we're settling into our best of 2. Stats taking a 1-0 lead so far. And again, Crimson Court is an interesting one just because of its expansion pattern, of the minerals that you can mine through. There are some pretty secure 3rd and 4th base locations here if you do end up opening up these other avenues of the map. I should say secure 3rd specifically. So I'm curious if Special is thinking further ahead or if he has something else up his sleeve, as Special is going for a double gas opener. Okay. So 2 gas opener out of Special. What this means is a delayed expansion as opposed to game 1. And Special is going for a faster factory. I'm not ruling out a 1 base all in. Not when Special's involved. Not saying it will be the case, but it's an option. Now the probe is being forced out. Special just trying to keep Stats in the dark. Keep him at bay. To have our first Reaper in production. Stats, he does confirm the lack of CC. And he's just being an annoyance. Forcing back that SCV. Does get eyes on the factory, so he's aware of the double gas opener. Max Scouts out of Stats. And again, Stats, he was able to confirm this without being locked in or out of the main base. As we have our first Reaper moving out, and we have a second Reaper on the way behind this. Okay. Special, you have my attention. We could go into Reaper Hellion. We could go Mass Reaper Hellion, and potentially with even a starport behind this. No, okay, there we go. CC is on the way. Thankfully, Special is not going for a 1 base all in. He's expanding. He is taking an expansion. Starport now on the way. And it looks like he's using his production here for add-ons instead. Okay, we have a reactor on the way on the racks. Tech lab for the factory. Interesting. Are we going for a tank drop? We have a couple of options. This could be for a tank drop, or this could be for an add-on swap into Banshees. We shall see, as tank drops have been a little bit trendy as of late. Reaper does get into the mineral line, but one of them goes down, and it's trapped. There's no way out, so the Reaper goes down. Both Reapers even. Big loss there for Special, and it is a tank drop. Tank is on the way. Medevac should be in production from that starport. Again, this build that Special's been going for, that Special is going for, has been trendy amongst players like Bjorn, players like Gumiho. amongst some of the Korean Terrans. Oh, my apologies. I assumed it was going to be a medevac, but no, it's going to be a Liberator. Okay. Let's go. Liberation has arrived. Special going to try and bring out his freedom. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice from Stats going for his Twilight Council into 2 gateways. Fun fact, this is the same build. 2 games in a row, same build at a Stats. It is going to be 3 gate blink. And because of this, he will have an abundance of units early on to defend. And what Special has is very fast tank production. Very fast tank production and an abundance of tanks as a result. This would not be bad for a 2-base all-in. We'll see. Just because he's going to have a fast 3rd and 4th tank here, I'm sure he wants to make use of it. Liberator's moving out. Medevac thereafter. So we're working towards that eventual push. And we'll see if Stats can piece this together. Everything we've been talking about, everything that we've seen from Special, Stats has yet to really get eyes on. As Stats is being defensive. And the Liberator is threatening that main. There we go, the first medevac has arrived. The Liberator sets up in the main base. We do have a shield battery in position. Good target firing out of Special. Goes straight for the probes. Yeah, 3, 4 workers go down. Good damage dealt there by that Lib. Special's going for his add-on swap. Trying to set up an add-on swap. There we go. And he's already on 3 tanks. He's already on that 3-tank setup. Behind this, Stats he's expanding. He has map control, of course. It is going to be poking that front door. But again, this move out from Special is going to hit like a truck. Here we go. He is moving out. Now, Special only just now started Stim. So we can pick away at these Marines. See Special trying to catch the Stalkers. Hoping to get a free volley off. 3rd TC on location. Okay. I see you. Also, Special, he's avoiding the 4th tank. We can see here, yeah, he's moving his factory over. Only 3 tanks. So my apologies. I assumed that Special would be pushing on 2 bases with this 3-tank setup, but no, he's setting up for a longer game. Interesting. So he went for a very tech-heavy opener just so he can do this, just so he can be a little bit more assertive and get his 3rd base a lot faster on location. Special, he has my attention, man. He has my attention. I'm intrigued. Behind this, Stats he's freely getting into his 3-way setup. Colossus are on the way. Gateway Explosion has arrived. Liberator gets into the main, and where is the army? Oh, Stats bleeding out a lot of probes. 4 workers go down. Yeah, forcing a recall. Stats forced back. Because of the recall, that means Special with his move out, he won't be spotted. Unless we have an observer over. Okay, we do. Observer is over the army. Special, does he see? Does he notice? Dark Shrine on the way. We have the turrets. I'm loving the turret placement here from Special. That is to catch any observer over the army. And he is moving out, at least with his drops, keeping his tanks at home. I believe Stats did spot that. Liberator's moving in. Also, I have to be careful. Yeah, probes are getting picked off. Stats unable to keep up with the Liberator. It's 3 probe kills. This time, Stats in position. Finally, the Liberator goes down. But you can see that, like, Special, because of his opener, because of his build, like, he is skyrocketing ahead. He's up in supply. Something that never did happen in the last game. Has to be careful, has to back off, respecting the army. But yeah, it's been very methodical play here out of Special throughout this game. Now we're getting to Vikings, getting to Ghosts. This time special because he doesn't move out with his first wave of tanks. Like, he doesn't lose momentum. So his army is quite terrifying. It's quite terrifying. 4CC on the way. And special just more concerned about getting into a solid mid game. Even further than that. Marine dusts him across the map, gets into a mineral line, dragging stats back home. Zealot drop is going to get a bit done. Zealots and Dark Templar, let's go. They get into the main base. We do force a recall. Prism does escape. And you can see that special, basically this playstyle, he's hoping that stats pushes in. Like he's been defending this entire time. And stats does not take the bait. Not yet. Stats is rotating around. Special trying to catch the army, does scan, does spot the Colossi. Tanks are sieged. And it's all about positional play right now. Special trying to get on top of Stats. Unable to yet. Going for his fourth. Stats going for some more Zealot harass. Disruptors are on the way. Again, we've had some very tense couple of moments here between our players, and no one's pulling the trigger. No one has committed yet. I spoke too soon. Stats is going for the third. Tanks, they're out of position. The third base is exposed. Yeah, we're going right for it. SCV is going to be going down. Stats, once he sees the army, he backs off. And very careful movement here out of Stats. Nervous are going to be connecting. Big connection there on special. EMPs were good. We get, that's a kill. Oh my god, a kill on that planetary, on that orbital. Sorry. 12 SCVs go down. All it takes is one moment where you're out of position, and Stats, he will punish you. The planetary is up. It will be a lot harder to bring that down. But Stats, he's picking special apart. Again, being so careful with how he does commit or how he does engage. At the same time, Zealot run by at the planetary. Never goes off. Show us the planetary. How? Oh, as it does hold on. Good repairs at a special. A special is supplied. Look, going for his own drop across the map. It does force a recall. And we're going for the main. And we're going right for the main base instead. Stats, he sends everything back home. And special finally has some breathing room. He's going for the third base. He is moving out. Oh, where are the stalkers? We get one Colossus for free. The pickup, we got one. We're going for a second Colossus as well. Big pickups. Good EMPs out of special. And Stats, he's falling apart a little bit here, being dragged apart by the drop play of special. But across the map, that's 19 SCV kills. Oh my god, the Zealorama was insane. He gets more than a mineral line. Special, sure, he kills a base, but he doesn't get as many probes. 10 probes go down, as opposed to the 19 SCVs. Tanks are pushing forward, though. They are pushing in. Never connects. Ooh, another Colossus goes down. Drop once again going into the main base, getting even more probes. Finally, it's going to be shut down. Oh god, these Zealot Rombats have been brutal. Catching reinforcements, they get on top of the Marauders. But finally, Stats, he dealt with the drop, he can focus on the main push. Again, Stats has been having a hard time keeping up attention-wise with special. But Stats, it looks like finally he can collapse on the army. We have a massive wave of Zealots. And finally, Statsy will clean this up. The tanks, they get swallowed up here by Stats, and he forces the lift up. Forces the retreat. We have DTs in the mineral lines, and Statsy takes a lead. Does take a lead here. The Nexus goes down. We're going for the medevacs. Do not get them. Again, becoming a very scrappy game. These Dark Templar, the MVPs, not just Dark Templar, really the War Prism. This War Prism has been doing so much, getting Stalkers and Dark Templar across the map. Special, he finally shuts it down, but it's too late. The damage has been done. From the Novas. Big connections. Oh my god, full medevac goes down as well. And the Novas, they will connect here in the mineral line. The Planetary goes down. Special, he gets knocked down to 2 bases. GG gets called. Special has nothing left. And Statsy will take the 2-0, winning it all here for his team for Twisted Fairy. GG. Whew, oh my god. GG, well played. Stats will take it. That was a very tense game though. Game 1 was more in favor of Stats. Honest, like game 1, like Stats was looking so impressive. Here in game number 2, Special was so much more in control. He was able to establish his 3rd base, his 4th base. Again, a little more careful play at a Special, a little more mid to late game oriented. Special found a lot of success as a result, but likewise, Stats was also so patient with his own play, just meticulously just rotating in between the bases, looking for a way in, looking for any kind of weak point, and he found it. The kind of momentum started to go in favor of Stats when he did hit the 3rd base. When we saw that Special, he got caught out of position, 3rd base. When Esports is a sister team to Platinum Heroes. As Platinum Heroes, they did kind of branch off and make a 2nd team just so that they can also compete here as their own. And we have, oh my god, we have a Series 2 friends meet here, 2 comrades in arms, as these Terran players, these ex-Terran players are going to be facing off. I say ex-Terrans, Vindicta of course, and ex-CranKy Duckling, the American Terran player, up against Uwu Thermal. Was once a Terran, but he's seen the light. He's now a Protoss enjoyer, a Zerg enjoyer. He is a random player. Let's go. Now, Euthermal has been competing as random, but I wonder if he's rolling as random, as here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Rolling Zerg. Oh, let's go. It is a Euthermal. In the top right, we have Vindicta for Platinum Esports. It's Protoss. I know it is. Okay, for those that are curious, Euthermal, back in the day, he did compete as a pro gamer as Terran, but recently in tournaments, Euthermal, he has been playing and rolling as random. And as I say that here, also random. Now, because of this, Vindicta doesn't know what he's playing. You saw that he was joking, right? Like, Euthermal, he said, oh, like, you won't know what race I have, and Vindicta was predicting Protoss. Again, Vindicta does not know if Euthermal is Protoss, Terran, or Zerg unless he scouts. Meanwhile, Euthermal getting across the map, going for a proxy hatchery, at least it looks to be the case. SV moves out, drone is moving in. Drone is slipping into that main base here for Euthermal. I mean, Vindicta now knows it is going to be a Zerg player with that drone scout. And I wonder what the plan is here for Euthermal. Why did we send our drone across the map? It is very peculiar. Drone scouting is not really seen too often at all. There we go. Looks like they are playing on US East, and it sounds like there's some latency issues going on as well. As we're going for the proxy hatch. Oh, we're trying to. We do try to nice block there out of Vindicta, out of Miguelito. Oh, the gas is going to be taken instead. But what just happened there may be a little bit because of that latency. Monka Giga Papi, as Euthermal attempted to go for the hatch block, but was unable to in that main base. Behind this, Euthermal going for a hatch into a spawning pool. Very interesting. Euthermal's going for a gasless opener. Gasless build out of Euthermal. Drone is going to be hunted down. Gas is denied. And as we get into this, I have to give the edge to Vindicta. I mean, even if Euthermal was playing his main race, I gotta send it for my boy, Papi. Predictions of the chat, I believe, have been open, or I think they're closed. Not so certain on that. Yeah, predictions, they have been closed. So for those that got their bets in, again, best of luck. As I do see Euthermal trying to get into his third base. Going for the third. Reaper does slip in. Oh, tries to harass. Again, we're getting some latency here, but hopefully it does clear up as the game is getting underway. Okay, so we've loaded into post-youth. Post-youth is an interesting one. Of course, it does mean that we get a free natural base, a free hybrid base as well, and Vindicta is going for a third CC before starport. Very economic follow-up. I keep wanting to say YouTube, man. Euthermal, he does go in for a scout with the Overlord. He will confirm the command center. So big scout here from Euthermal. Does confirm the CC, as well as that delayed starport. Meanwhile, Vindicta poking in, trying to get eyes, trying to get a read on any hidden tech. We can see that Euthermal has just been droning. No fast gases, no fast lair. Oh, as we're going double Evo chamber. Okay. Big scout here out of Vindicta. Double Evo chamber here out of Euthermal. Very greedy play here from our Zerg. Now with double Evo chambers, of course, we're going to be rushing to upgrades. This does mean that the lair and the Baneliness are going to be delayed for Euthermal. And we'll see if Vindicta can take advantage of that. Does slip in with some Hellions. Threatening that larva. Ensuring that there is no saturation at the third. And Vindicta will back off. Behind this is going towards Cloak Banshee. So 3 CC Cloak Banshee, very standard play out of MiGs. And we'll see what he can get done. We shall see. Hellions once again just looking for a way in, testing the waters. Euthermal is getting into his Ling production. He's working towards his Lings. Lair is now on the way. Again, that should be for Bailing production. Well, that should be for Bailings for 2-2. Or Bailing speed. Oh, as a Hellion does slip into that third base. No Spore, by the way. Uh-oh. Yeah, no Spore in position. At the same time, Big Ling run by here at the third base. We do have Hellions to defend. Yeah, plenty of Hellions, but is in position. And the Lings are being cleaned up. We're trying to get some SCV kills, but alas, Lings are shut down. Meanwhile, it looks like in the middle of that defense, yeah, the Banshee was thrown away. Oh, Cloak was finished, but we weren't able to make use of it. Bit of a slip up there by Vindicta. The Banshee is thrown away. And the game will settle from here. We have Migs getting his Raxes up and running. I think we made a second Banshee. I hope we did, because we did invest into Cloak. Yeah, I think the second Banshee has arrived, has hit the fourth. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be rolling in towards that main. No Spores in position, but there is an Overseer in production. And we could go for some more drone kills. Going for the Queen instead. Bold move. It looks like we don't have a transfuse. The Queen is going to be going down. Not a bad pickup. We only get the Queen. As Migs is going to retreat. This time keeps that Banshee alive. All in all, though, I'm not... I do actually quite like Euthermal's position overall here. It's not too bad, is what I was getting around to saying. He's joining up to 65, 3-base saturation. His 4th base is on the way. He could do with some more droning, is what I will say. There we go, as we do have 6 drones in production. And once we get up to 80, then we can focus on just purely Ling Bane. And we'll see if we can get there. As Lings are threatening a run by. Try to slip in between the bases. He's going down. Meanwhile, big drop here across the map, and there's nothing here to defend. Yeah, we go for the queen. Queen goes down 3 drones as well. Can we get the hatchery? I don't think we can. Lings, they do get here in time. It looks like we go for the base, and it will go down. Big pick off. A risky move out of Vendetta, but he does get a kill on the base. And that is actually quite huge. Because Euthermal's going for such a Ling Bane heavy composition, we need as much lava as possible. Behind this, he has a Hydra Den. It's going Ling Bane Hydra. But again, lava is crucial. So we catch the active tumors. Ooh, Mig's trying to go for the gold base. A little bit bold, a little bit crazy. Trying to rush into that gold. At the same time, Banelings are being morphed in, and Vendetta, he does scout them. Does force a cancel. Very nicely done. We can see Euthermal's double expanding to make up for his dead base. His killed hatchery. Mix is pushing once again, does scout those Banelings. Euthermal is having a hard time here, punishing the greed of Vendetta, punishing that gold. It's getting up and running. A nice catch here from Euthermal. Oh, almost gets the medevac. Does get the medevac there. As Vendetta going to be reinforcing with 2 more. Meanwhile, Euthermal is amassing his Ling Bane army. You can see though the disparity in supply is huge. A big part of that is just because of the killed hatchery and our limited larva. But Euthermal, I do see that he does have larva lying around, which is concerning. Like, Vendetta's maxed out. That's insane. Oh, but it does take some Banelings to the face. Good catch from Euthermal. But again, you can see Euthermal, he has larva. I'm concerned that he doesn't have some of these hatcheries hotkeyed. I'm trying to think of, like, he's got the bank, he's got minerals, he's got gas. We did have larva lying around, and alas, Vendetta, he does get behind the mineral line. Trading with the Ling Bane. There we go, 18 more links on the way. Yeah, they do pop out of that 3rd base. Oh, that was a kill on another hatchery. Euthermal down to 4 bases, an even base count with the Terran, something you never want to see. Thankfully, Euthermal does have like resources to work with. As he's getting into his Ling Bane production. Drop once again into the main base, getting another 5 drone kills, pulling Euthermal back home. And Vendetta setting up for his push at the 4th. Does run into the Hydras. Banelings rolling in. How good are the mine shots? Not amazing. Banelings, they crash in. Vendetta forced to pick up. Forced to get the hell out of there. Dropping into the natural though. Euthermal, meanwhile, he tries to break the planetary and it will not be broken. Gets 11 SCVs, but that was not worth it for Euthermal. At the same time, we get into the main. Oh my, the target firing! Vendetta popping off in the main. Gets the Banelings, gets into the mineral line. 6 drones go down. And Vendetta, he's just been out trading Euthermal. And that bank that Euthermal once had, it's not there, not anymore. Not anymore, as Vendetta, he's just pulling Euthermal apart. And again, that's the risk you take as well when you roll random is, you know, there are some races that you're a little bit better at than others. It does feel like here in a more standard, more macro game, Vendetta, he has the edge over Euthermal. Has been able to keep up. has been able to shut him down. Oh, the mass around as well. We catch the Hydra's. Expensive losses here for you, Thermal. Does get caught out. It was a risky maneuver harassing with Hydras, and he gets punished for it. Yeah, and this is the beginning of the end here. As Vindicta, he remaxes at 200 supply, and he's breaking this base. Bathing Run By doesn't get much done. And Vindicta is snowballing out of control. He's rocking up here. Only Hydras to defend. Where are the Bailings? Where are the Lurkers? Where's anything else? It's just not here. Yeah, the Hatchers are going down one after the other. GG gets called, and Vindicta takes game number 1. GG. Again, Vindicta coming in as the favorite player depending on the race. Again, Euthermal, it's really cool to see him playing random, and we haven't seen an active random player in a very long time. We were going over it the other day when we were casting Euthermal in the ESL Open Cups about how, like, who was the last random player? You know, Balloon was competing as random back in Heart of the Swarm. We had Mighty Kiwi and Pez playing. But here we go, we're getting into our second game, and in the top right hand corner we have, rolling his main race, the YouTube man Euthermal. This race is also crazy. In the bottom left hand corner we have he hates him, Bobby. We have Vindicta for Platinum Esports. Let's go. Again, for some context, Vindicta and Euthermal are good friends. Yo, the bathing snaps, they were crazy, mate. They were so good. Clem, Bobby. True. Ay. But here we go. Now we can have a back and forth. You must have missed the ones I ran into. Yeah, we saw that as well. It's fine. Migs, why are you calling yourself out? Ay. Miguelito, por favor. We did also see him taking some bailings to the face. True. Humble man, Bobby. Humble man. Oh, God. You know what's going to happen? Euthermal, he's going to make a YouTube video about those bailings hitting Vindicta. You know that's gonna happen. Shaking my head. The YouTube man himself. He strikes again, making clips. But now we're getting into a TVT. Now, on the one hand, I want to favor Euthermal in a TVT, or I should say that obviously it's his strongest race. It is his best chance here to bring down a player like Vindicta. At the same time, I would go as far as to say that Vindicta's best matchup is TVT. Now, maybe that information is a little bit outdated, but I always remember Vindicta bringing down Bjorn, for example, going toe-to-toe with Gumiho. Vindicta, like, his TVT is world-class, or it was world-class back when he was a full-time player. Nowadays, if you're unaware, Vindicta, he is a part-time player. He's got a full-time job nowadays, and he streams whenever he's available. You know, he streams in his off time. In his free time. So, he's not as committed to StarCraft as he once was. So we'll see how these two players compare, because I guess they're both part-time players, as Euthermal, he's more of a content man nowadays, more of a YouTube man. But here we go, Reaper is moving out. Vindicta was able to scout. He does confirm the Terran race. He's set up back at home, and the Reaper is going to be forced back. It does take an extra hit. Migs will hold. Behind this, Migs is going for his gold as his natural. Meanwhile, Euthermal, I almost called him YouTube man. God damn it. Once again, Euthermal, he's going for his regular natural base instead. So there is a bit of a give and take here. One, obviously the gold base gives you so much more value here, and this is putting pressure on Euthermal. Euthermal, he saw the gold. He has to punish it. He has to punish it, and you can see here Euthermal is going double Reaper, Hellion production. Reactor Reaper, Hellion. Very aggressive style here out of Euthermal. Basically making an abundance of Hellions and Reapers to apply pressure to the natural. Meanwhile, Vindicta's being more defensive, getting into Cyclone production. The problem is defending this mineral line is going to be a little bit awkward, a little bit tricky. As Euthermal, he's denying any kind of mining here at that natural base. Behind this, getting into his own reactor Cyclone production. Por favor, papi. As Vindicta, he does slip into the main base. He's going to get an SCV. Gets one. Oh, he's going to get a second as well. Very nicely done there by Vindicta. Meanwhile, across the map, Cyclone, he does hold. He does defend. Oh, that second SCV did survive, though. Euthermal, he's got his own moves. but is still bleeding out units. Yeah, trading 2 for 2. As Migs, he's still in the main base. Finally, he gets cleaned up. The Reaper goes down. And you can see the dynamic here between our players. As Euthermal, he's continuing Cyclone production. Meanwhile, Vindicta, he has stopped Cyclones and he's going into tanks instead. Tanks are on the way for Migs. But he does need to get them up and running sooner rather than later. He needs to establish this natural base. There you go. The tank is finally on the way. At the same time, Euthermal going for a double drop or going for a Cyclone drop into the main. Trying to pull apart the attention of Migs. The Marines have moved out. Oh, they barely almost moved out of position. Does hold. But the Cyclones are making their way into the main base. Boys, they have to be pulled. Are being pulled. We do defend. Now, even though Vindicta, he hasn't been mining from his natural and he's been taking some losses, what's important is that the natural is a gold. And now that it's up and running, he's making up for his deficit earlier. He's making up for his losses. He's catching up. Cyclones, they drop on top of the tank. They go for the drop. It's good on siege, good repair as well. Euthermal being such a nuisance here, being so annoying, trying to create an opening for some SCV damage as he's going for the third. So is Vindicta. Both players taking their third base. Aliens once again harassing that mineral line, getting 2 SCVs. Cyclone drop rotating around. There is a tank in position. We do go for the drop nonetheless. Yeah, we're barely out of range. Again, very nice positioning here out of Euthermal. As he is reinforcing with even more Cyclones. I believe he has Disable as well on that Raven. And speaking of, he goes for the Disable. Quick on siege. Oh, Mix Papi. Oh my god. A very nice on siege, does get away. But is still losing workers, still losing SCVs. And that base is under fire. Again, Euthermal doing so well here, punishing this gold. And this is the risk you take. And taking that gold base. Vindicta trying to get his third. But again, Euthermal is just constantly in his face here. He gets another SCV. As Euthermal once again just going for a tri-pronged aggression here. Drop into the main base. Push towards the right. Another Cyclone towards the left. He's just keeping the worker count low. And what's important is that Vindicta, he's just been stuck at home this entire time. Has been stuck defending. And Euthermal, he's been free to just saturate his third base and run away with this economically. The medevac finally goes down. But this is an uphill battle for Vindicta. It's an uphill battle. You see Euthermal trying to camp the production, rotating around. Trying to find wherever he can. His main army is moving out. Still has plenty of Ravens. Going for the gold once again. Vindicta has a comparable army, but again, he's spread thin. He's spread very thin between his bases. And Euthermal, he can focus and concentrate everything here at the gold. He's ready for a counterattack. Once again, a more denied mining time here at the gold. Sensor towers are finishing up. There we go for the scan, but the tank is going to be going down. The Marines go for the dive. Trading a tank for a tank. Ooh, and Euthermal, he will bleed out a little bit more. These Marines do go down. But Vindicta does hold. Now from here, Euthermal has a choice to make. He could just take a fourth. He could just take a fourth base and contain his opponent, but no, he once again tries to dive in. Quick on siege out of Vindicta. very quick on siege. Marines having a hard time engaging. More tanks on the way. Vikings have right. We're going for those. We're going for the Ravens. We get one. One Raven finally goes down. Vendetta trying to harass here at the third base. Doesn't know where the third base has been taken, so unable to do much. As Thermal moves out, is spotted by the medevac. So very nice catch there by Vendetta. Now he knows. Is getting ready. Is getting ready at that third. And again, I do appreciate this out of Euthermal. With his map control, he is taking a fourth. Fourth base is on the way. Euthermal does have the supply lead. He scans, he sees the fourth. A big tank shot's going off. Ooh, the mineral line under fire. Bold move. Miggs going for his own drop across the map. Let's go. He's finally breaking free. But Euthermal does have most of his army at home, is the problem. Even more SCVs go down. 8 worker kills. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, we disable the tanks. We're breaking through. And Euthermal, this may just be too much. It takes down 3 tanks and all the Vikings as well. Meanwhile, across the map, Vendetta, he tried to go for the triple drop, but he runs into Vikings. Has to back off. And this may just be game. I mean, it's just so much here in favor of Euthermal. The denied mining time, the map control. Vendetta, he's just been stuck at home the entire game. He's finally moving out. And Vendetta, he's pretty all in at this point. It's all or nothing for Miggs. 18 SVs go down. He's down to 45 workers. 2-2 is about to finish. And my apologies, we're taking a fourth. Or I guess a third. As his tank is finally going to go down. And Euthermal, he's maxed out. Now, Miggs, he can win a fight here. He can win an engagement, but he has to catch his army out. He has to rely on that positioning, Euthermal. It's easier said than done. Euthermal, he's pushy, gets eyes on the fourth, does spot the drop. Going for his own. Let's go, Doom Drop versus Doom Drop. But Euthermal has tanks. And he does already get into that natural base. CC goes down, we're pushing towards the main. And Vendetta, we have to go for our own push. There's no other way. He's going to try and hold, going to try and defend. He has 1 tank. And 1 tank is not going to be enough. At the same time, Miggs pushing towards that third. Meanwhile, the main base, it has been broken. We're keeping the production. Euthermal going for the throat. Going for the win. Vendetta, meanwhile, taking some big tank shots to the face. Does not make it into the main base. Yeah, both players are supply blocked, but Euthermal has a massive supply lead. GG gets called. There's no way out of this, and Euthermal ties up the series 1-1. GG. Euthermal showing his dominance once he's able to pick and play his main race with that Terran in that TBT. Euthermal, he just had his way with Vendetta. A lot of it came down to the features of the map, though. A lot of it came down to Dynasty. Again, we saw the difference here. Euthermal, he avoided the goal base. He knew that the goal base is so vulnerable and it's so isolated. Here we go. Game 1 is underway and we're loading in to Dynasty. In the top right hand corner, we have Rex for offside. And in the bottom left, we have Art for Platinum Esports. Now, as a reminder, this is Art, not to be confused with Art, as both players are playing for Platinum Esports. Not confusing at all. This is the Russian player Art, not the Polish player Art, I believe. Let me just double check. Yeah. This is the Russian Art, not the Polish Art. Both are on the same team, but and both played Protoss. I'm shaking my head. Let's go. As Rex is going for a Hatch Gas full standard opener out of our Zerg player. Meanwhile, Art going for his own gate expand. Meanwhile, a big shout out. Oh, Papi. Oh my god. Let's go, Rex. Big shout out to Onside, aka Offside. Thank you so much for the $10 tip. Let's go, Rex. Rex fighting. Let's go. Annyeong haseyo. I believe the owner of Onside or / Offside. We do appreciate the support as always. And I'm sure there's no bias going on in the chat whatsoever. As for now, we are tied up 1-1. Still a lot of owners, a lot of pressure on our two players here to take a lead for their respective teams. Let's go. Both pros. Yeah, exactly. It's not confusing. Totally not confusing. Let's go. But again, standard opener from Rex going for a Hatch Gas pool. And we spoke about this map earlier. We spoke about how the biggest feature of this map is that pocket goal base and how abusable it can be. And we can see that Rex, he is avoiding the goal base. Honestly, I think this is how you need to approach this depending on the matchup here. Or maybe in general. As Rex, he goes for the standard natural. He avoids the goal. The problem with the goal base here is that it's so abusable with Adept Harass, with Stalker Harass. It's just so difficult to get up and running. So Rex, he doesn't even bother. And he should be going for that goal base as a third or maybe even as a fourth. Meanwhile, Art has chosen his tech of choice. It is not going to be a Stargate opener, it's going to be a Twilight Council. So a very aggressive build here from Art. A very aggressive build. Behind this, the gateways are on the way. We pull out of gas. This looks like glaives. This does look like glaive adepts here. Now, what kind of variation of glaives is what I'm curious about, because how many gateways? 4. 3 gates are on the way. 4th gateway is already done, so 4 gates in total, but there is no robo. This is a build that has been permeating throughout the European scene, throughout the European region. This is a macro glaive adept build. What I mean by that is that without a robo, there is no war prism, there's no way to reinforce across the map, and that money that would have been spent on a robo is instead going to be spent on a third base, typically. I guess we could double down and throw down a Dark Shrine instead, but I believe a third base should be on the horizon for Art. I see in the chat, Art with all capitals is Russian, Art with only A and T capitalized is Polish. Yes, but this is... Meanwhile, if you're in the chat, predictions are open, by the way. It is a little bit late, but predictions are open. Place your bets on how you think the series will unfold. Whether it's a 2-0 in either direction or a 1-1, best of luck. Best of luck with your predictions. As there's that third that we spoke about. Again, the reason why Arts can afford this third base is because there was no robo. Meanwhile, Adepts have been warped in and they have to walk across the map. There is no reinforcement point, and there is no way to reinforce in the main base either. Or ferry them into the main. Arts is an Earthling. True, true. Este Art. And here we go, Adepts, they are going to be threatening that third. So far, Roaches have been amassing. We have a Spore Crawler position as well. Good reaction out of Rex. Yeah, he is keeping up with the Shade. He is minimizing his losses, and so far, hasn't lost much at all. Good defense so far. He is keeping up. Behind this, he's free to drone. Rex is droning. Oh, as Art is going to be reinforcing with additional adepts. Robo is on the way behind this as well. And you can see that Art, he is freely saturating that gold. And honestly, Art can't really do much about it. Not yet. But at least Rex, he recognizes that he's safe. He recognizes that he has defended. So he's freely droning, working towards a lair. Eventually working towards roach speed. And once Rex feels safe and secure, then he can start moving out and he can start harassing with Roach Ravager. Until then, though, Art's still being as active as possible. Threatens another shade. Doesn't commit. Bearing in mind that Art can't commit to any of these shades because if he loses the adepts, he will lose the gold. Like, this is all that Art has to keep Rex pinned back at home. As Art is going for another gateway explosion, that's 5 more gates on the way. We're going for a push. Yeah, we're going for an Immortal Sentry push. We're going for a 3-way, essentially all in. There's no Forge behind this. There's no additional tech. No Bay, no Temple Archives. Very committed here. I believe he's going to have 8 gates in total. No, sorry, 9 gates. There we go. He's reinforcing with Stalkers. And this push is going to hit like a truck. And Rex, can he hold? Can he defend? We need Ravagers. What do we have? 2 more Ravagers on the way. Is that going to be enough? Art is pushing in. Ravagers are exposed. And he will get on top of one of them. Does try to at least. Yeah, good force fields. 1 Ravager goes down. And there's plenty more force fields where that came from. And you can see here, without additional Ravagers, force fields are key. Yeah, we catch more of these Queens. Queen's going to be going down. And the force fields, they cannot be broken. Finally, we do break out. With that 1 Ravager, we catch out more Roaches, though. And Art, he's snowballing out of control. This secondary push is just getting too much done. Yeah, Rex bleeding out more Roaches. Trying to harass across the map, but he runs into a brick wall. Yeah, and Art, he cannot be stopped. Not anymore. Gets a base, pushing towards the natural. We do have Summoning Bane. But Rex, who was just not prepared for this push, was not expecting it, not ready for it. And Art is even working on the next step. We have +1 and Blink on the way. We don't even need it, to be honest. Don't even need those upgrades, as this push isn't being dealt with. Bailey's rolling in. Good force fields once again. Yeah, they deny the Bailings. Once again, Ravagers are morphed in, but there's barely anything to support them. There's just not enough Zerg, not enough here. GG gets called, and Art takes a lead 2-1 in this best of 7. Maybe. But here we go. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have for Team Offside, it is Rex. And in the top right, we have for the Platinum Esports, it is Art. Here we go. Again, Art, he does take a lead for himself and for his team. The pressure is now on Rex to bounce back. And I do want to believe he can. Eyes are peeled here. What kind of builds we go for? For now, it should be a hatch gas pull out of Rex. To be fair, I spoke about this before. We have seen a lot of gasless openers on post-youth. Speaking of, we are going for the gold. Oh my, Rex, calm down. Okay. Rex, he's going to be cooking here. He's rushing into the gold. Very bold move here from our Zerg player. We'll see if he gets away with it. We'll see if Art is able to scout. Ooh, as we are asking for a small pause. Looks like there may be some latency, maybe a hotkey issue. Hopefully everything bad. Oh, and here we go. Looks like the issues have been resolved. We're diving back in. Okay, Art, he does get into the main base. He's checking for the natural, and he will confirm that there is no natural, and that should prompt Art to check the gold. He's going to be checking the triangular third first. Upon seeing no bases, the gold base should be in the back of his mind. Oh, he's checking the triangular third first. Okay, Art, it looks like he's going back into the main once again, looking for the hatchery. He's actually looking for a proxy. Yeah, boys are being pulled. They're going to be main art over towards the gold, and now Art knows. Now, ooh, a bit of a mystery though. He thinks it's an all-in. Yeah, Art convinced it was a proxy hatchery. Going for two. Oh, Art going for 2 shield batteries. He doesn't know. And another pylon as well. Oh my god, a big overreaction here from Art. And again, he has not seen. He doesn't know. Ay, ay, ay. This is working wonders for Rex. As finally Art checks, he does confirm, he does get eyes on the gold base. And he does manage to cancel 1 shield battery, but the first shield battery finish, the second pylon finish as well, wasn't able to cancel everything in time. So a very good start by Rex. Very, very nicely done. No natural is unnatural. Oh, I wish that was true. Ay, ay, ay. Meanwhile, Rex across the map, he does confirm the Stargate. Does get eyes on everything. And I have to give the edge to Rex right now. Do have to give him the edge. Like, Art, his own opener was delayed, was disrupted. Rex, he sees the setup in the main. And Rex is going for a third. Ooh, Void Ray opener out of Arts. Interesting. Going for the Void Ray. Is he thinking about Sky Toss? I'm curious. So the Void Ray, the goal of the Void Ray is to shut down the Overlord. The Overlord is going to go down, and that means that Rex won't see what's coming next. He won't have eyes on whether it's a second Stargate, whether it's a Twilight Council, whether we skip the Forge. Rex won't know. And for now, neither do we. So once the Overlord goes down, then we'll see what Art goes for. He started an Oracle, does cancel. Going for additional gateways. The gateways are spotted by the Lings. Big scout by Rex. The additional gateways confirm that it's not going to be Sky Toss. So he knows that at least. Roach Warren gets thrown down. Additional drones on the way. Void Ray trying to hunt down another Overlord. And there is our tech. It is going to be a Twilight Council and a Forge. Okay. Twilight Council and Forge. Based on the additional gateways, +1 and Blink or Charge, I'm leaning towards Charge. But we'll see what Art decides to commit into, if it is going to be Blink. But now the Void Ray is forced back. Rex, he gets away with the gold base, completely untouched, completely uninterrupted. And I do worry for Art. I do worry for our Protoss player. And there it is, +1 in Charge. Again, I assumed it was going to be Charge just because of the prioritization of gateways. And there it is, Templar Archives is on the way. So Charge Archon from Art. It is a very robust style, but it's going to take a while to get going. The problem with this is that we have to wait for the upgrades and we have to wait for the Archons. And by the time we do, Rex is already saturated on 3 bases. He already has the gold fully operational. He's basically on a 4-base setup. Bearing in mind that one of his bases is also a hybrid base. As in half gold and half regular. Yeah, and now we're amassing roaches. And look at the creep as well. Rex, he's looking to knock down that third. Doesn't have to break the natural. Doesn't have to break the main. His goal here should be the 3rd base, and then he can just back up and tech. And I'm not so certain that Art can actually save and hold on to that 3rd. It's gonna be close. It is gonna be close. You can see here that Rex has been at 55 workers for quite some time, and he has not made a single drone. Yeah, he's setting up for his push. Very committed. The rocks are falling. Void Ray has not seen this, has not scouted, not yet. You can see Rex avoiding the Void Ray. Does pull back, waiting for more Ravagers, more Lings. Overseer gets into the main. And here we go, Rex even coming in with his queens. for a couple more seconds. Roach speed is now done. And there's just not enough in position. I think there is a shield battery in the back line. Yeah, one shield battery, one overcharge. We dive on top of the Archon. The Archon goes down. Big piles here on the Void Ray. And Art, he just cannot defend. GG gets called. Rex, he snowballs out of control and ties up the series at 2-2. GG. Ooh, a very, very strong start here by Rex. Again, going for the goal base, and it took far too long for Art to realize what was happening. Remember, Art, he checked the linear third, he checked the linear third, then the natural, then the triangular third, then the linear third, then he went for the natural again. Then he was checking for proxy bases. It took Art so long to figure out what was going on. He was so convinced it was an all-in and a proxy that he threw down 2 pylons and 2 shield batteries as well. Big overreaction by Art. By the time he realized what was going on, he had already sustained so much damage. Inadvertent damage. Basically, he had delayed his tech, he had wasted resources, wasted minerals. There was a lot that did occur there in the early game. And he was not able to actually punish or apply any pressure to the gold. Rex got away with murder. Got away with so much there. GG, well played, congratulations, as Rex does take the game. And now it comes down to this final best of 2. Firefly versus Eva. Let's go. Firefly versus Eva in a PvZ. And this is going to be dangerous. I have to favor Firefly. Firefly, he is the ace player of scouting, and information is key in StarCraft. Likewise, misinformation also is a big tool as well. And here we go. In the top left hand corner, we have the Chinese Protoss player Firefly for Offside. And in the bottom right, we have Eva for Platinum Esports. Here we go. Ooh. As the pressure is on. Again, I have to favor Firefly coming into this. I say favor him, but we'll see how this does unfold. As the power here of WTL is that you are aware of your opponent ahead of time, and you can prepare specifically for your opponent as well. And as our players are getting into this, predictions in the chat are open. Place your bets, Papi. Place your bets. Predictions are open. Best of luck here on who you believe will take the series, whether it's a 2-0 in either direction or a 1-1 tied score. As a reminder, if we get tied up 1-1 scores, then we're going to the ace match. We're going to the ace match where both teams will pick a player each to field in that best of 1. Oh boy. So best of luck, everyone. Best of luck. Meanwhile, we do have a gate expand out of Firefly, standard opener out of our Protoss player. Meanwhile, Eva back at home going for a hatch gas full force to take the unnatural natural. A bit of a more awkward start out of Eva. And Firefly could take advantage of Eva. So, talking about our players a little bit here. I was talking about how Firefly has been the ace player and an up-and-coming rising star. This is all true. But when it comes to Firefly's playstyle, he's a very aggressive Protoss. He thrives mainly in the mid-game. He's very much so a mid-game oriented player. He's very fond of going for Twilight Council openers or DT starts. In the mid-game, very fond of something like Charged Archon. And he's very aggressive, very in your face. And we'll see if Eva is aware of that. We'll see if Eva can keep up. For now, we're just getting into our openers. We're still yet to determine the tech of choice from Firefly. We can see that Warp Gate has not begun, and we see why. There is no Warp Gate because we're going for a Stargate opener. Stargate on the way here for Firefly. With this, it should be leading to Oracles, Oracle production, into a third base, into a Twilight Council. Meanwhile, Eva back at home, just setting up here with his 3 bases, soon to be 3 bases. And the dance has begun, the dance of Adept Harass with the Lings. Again, Firefly has to be so careful with his movement. Does dip in. Gets a bit of damage done, but does not kill a drone. Firefly is going to pull back. Does pull back. 2 Adepts, they do shade into the wards the third. Remember, 2 Adepts do one-shot drones. But they're busy with the lings. Every ling is going to go down, and we can throw in that mineral line. We do get one. One drone goes down, but only one. Nice control out of Firefly. He does save both the depths. He does get the hell out of there. Does retreat. Behind this, it is that Oracle that we spoke about. And this should be leading into a third base. Now, Firefly has to be very careful. The dynamic here is that if these adepts go down, then the third base is vulnerable. Firefly knows, and Firefly, he does make it back home. The adepts, they got low, but they survived. So very nice control here out of Firefly. He saves his adepts. Oracle gets in between the bases. Oh, does bypass the queens and gets one extra drone. And we do get eyes on those lings. Meanwhile, additional oracles are on the way. And we are settling into this. Again, least bets on 1-1, usually the easiest bets. True, true. I mean, it can be. I mean, to be fair, we've been getting a lot of 1-1s today. A lot of 1-1s. Some surprising ones as well, to be fair. As the oracles, they do get into the main base. Ooh, bit of a drive-by. We get 3 drone kills. Good damage done here from Firefly. I think the biggest reason why 1-1 is a good bet is because of loser's pick, right? Specifically because of the loser's pick. When a player loses, they have a stronger chance to bounce back in game 2. Like, the lack of vetoes and the ability to pick your map is actually pretty huge. It's pretty big. It is something unique to WTL. As oracles, they do get into main base. Once again, 4 more drones go down. Oh, Firefly, he's picking Eba apart. And again, this is just merely harassment. His third base is getting up and running. We have our follow-up. It's going to be +1 and blink. Adepts have arrived. We do have enough links to deal with this, though. Oh, the Roach Warren is going to be delayed. A big snipe there on the drone. No Roach Warren yet, and we're getting more economic damage done. Good target firing out of Firefly. Getting 9 drone kills. Oh my god. 9 worker kills and a delayed Roach Warren. This is getting out of hand here. As Firefly, he's ahead. He has a solid lead. Look at the trades. 14 workers, 9 lings, and an overlord for a handful of adepts. And behind this, Firefly is fully saturated on 3 bases. He's getting his gateways up and running. Now, I was expecting a push with +1 and blink, but as we can see, we're taking up. We're going for a Robo. We're going for a Temple Archives. Firefly, he's going to be applying a bit of pressure with these stalkers, but he's not going to be committing. He's spending his resources elsewhere. Ooh, as Firefly is getting called out, has to be careful. Remember, blink isn't done. These stalkers are vulnerable, but that is where the oracles come into play. Because Firefly didn't lose his oracles, now they can support the army. Now they can protect these stalkers from surrounds. Yeah, it all, like, we have layers kind of getting on top of each other here, piling on each other in favor of Firefly. Good ling run by, we deny the 4th. Very good counterattack by Eba. But he needs more. Needs more done. The lings, they do get a surround. They try to release. They get 1 stalker. You can see the oracles, they're going ham. The lings, they're crumbling here. But we do get a couple more stalkers in the end. What was that? 4 stalkers going down. Not too bad. Blink just now finished. And that was a more efficient trade for Eba, trading minerals for gas. But we're bleeding out a little bit too much here. We are bleeding out too many lings. Firefly continuing to apply pressure. Behind this, he's got a War Prism on the way. Charge, Storm as well. Remember, Firefly, this push isn't intending to kill a base or anything like that. He's just trading with the lings. Trading with the army. Stasis trap is set up. Big stasis on the lings. Oh my god. Now the queens are exposed. That stasis was massive. The queens are exposed. And Firefly, he's tempted. Oh my god, he is tempted. We get into a mineral line as well. Another stasis goes off. We got 6 more drones. Firefly showing us all what he's made of, showing us why he was the ace player of Platinum Heroes and Starlight Twinkle, and even Offside. showing why there's been a lot of hype around Firefly this past year. Ebo going for a run by. Hoping to catch a Firefly off guard. There is an Immortal. Is exposed. Big surround. Yeah, it's out of range of the shield battery. Immortal goes down for free. Finally, something goes Eba's way. That was a good start. I would still say that Firefly's ahead, but no good sign unless Storm Drop comes in. 9 drones go down. The harassment just doesn't end. Big Storm Drop there from Firefly. High Templar, they're still in between the bases, keeping these queens busy. Oh, the Prism! Oh my god. The Prism does go down. Massive pickoff. They're hurting my voice, Pappy. I'm still not fully recovered. I can't handle it, Pappy, but there we go. Big pickoff. 4 High Templar go down. Eva getting an Immortal, getting 4 High Templar. Doing well. Like, Firefly, up until this point, has been doing amazingly harassing and picking Eba apart, but there have been some crucial missteps here from Firefly. Losing some hijack units. Eba still has a chance. And here we go. Firefly is pushing, does have plenty of High Templar behind this. Immortals as well. Even with those losses, it may just be too much. Lurkers are on the way. Storms, they do connect. Big revelation here. We have eyes on the Lurkers. Good target firing out of Eba. Does focus on the High Templar. But Firefly is still breaking through. Getting on top of the base. The hatchery is going to go down. There's no saving it. The base falls. The base does fall. And Firefly going for his own run by as well, keeping the attention of Eba here towards the south. We have the Prism into the main, we have the cells towards the third, or towards the fourth. And Eba, he's out of position. Yeah, big warp in. Massive warp in into the main. Good positioning here from Firefly. Does rotate around, trying to outposition these Lurkers. And the Lurkers are getting caught out. The Lurkers know where they need to be. Storms get thrown down. Another base goes down. GG gets called. There's just too much to handle. And Firefly takes a 1-0 lead. Here we go as we are getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have Firefly for offside. And in the bottom left, we have as opponent, we have Eba for Platinum Esports. But here we go, we're getting into game number 2, and we do see Eba going for a 15-15, very safe opener out of Eba, going for that 15 hatchery, followed by a 15 spawning pool. Meanwhile, Firefly back at home going for a gate expand. Firefly going for that gate expand instead. Standard opener from our Protoss player. Now, this 15-15 based build from Eba can lead into roach aggression just because the gases are so late. I'm curious if that's going to be the case here. I am curious. As for now, there we go. The gases are being taken by Eba. He's not delaying them for too much longer, as he is getting into his gas income. Behind this, Firefly settling into his own cybercore, into his own tech eventually of choice, which I imagine is going to be another Stargate. Like, the thing is, after game 1, there's no reason for Firefly to really deviate. There's no reason for Firefly to go for a Twilight Council, to go for Glaive Adepts. He had a pretty standard playstyle, pretty standard build, and he succeeded quite well with it. No reason to adjust. But we'll see. We shall see as the Cybercore is done. And we should be soon seeing our tech of choice. Again, no warp gate from Firefly. Should be a Stargate. And there it is, Stargate opener for Firefly. Is going to be his tech of choice. It's going to be that Stargate. Is going to be for Oracle production. And we do see once again the Firefly moving out with his initial adepts. And we'll see if Eva can keep up with the Adept Harass. If he can have a bit of a stronger start here compared to game number 1. Remember, Firefly, he traded so well. He got so much damage done in that first game. I'm hoping that Eva can recover. As interesting, Eva going for the center hatchery. Okay. His third base has been chosen. Now, this center base does allow creatures to spread a little bit faster across the map. It is a bit of a launch pad for an eventual roach-based all-in. Meanwhile, Firefly going for not oracles, but a Phoenix. Very interesting. Phoenix opener here out of Firefly. He's going to be able to chase down the initial Overlord, and he's continuing Phoenix production behind this. Firefly, he's cooking. He's cooking, papi. What exactly is he cooking, though? Overlord is going to be chased down. Third base is being taken by Firefly. But again, this is a very secure third. Because Firefly mined through those minerals on the right-hand side, there's actually no way to harass this base unless you also mine through the minerals or break through those rocks. Oh boy. So we do see Firefly able to delay the would-be base of Eva. Catches a drone. Forge is on the way. Interesting, as he has continued Phoenix production. Looks like charged lots and alongside Phoenixes, I imagine. But we'll see. We'll see how Firefly pieces this all together. As Eva is going to be taking his Roach Warren. That was a sub 5-minute Roach Warren, so I'm feeling aggression here from Eva. Is saturating his base. Yep, there we go. Overlord speed is on the way. Adepts, they make their way to the mineral line. Drones are going down. The Overlord's alongside them. Now, based on this faster Roach Warren, I imagine we're going to be cutting workers soon. Imagine we're going to be cutting workers. We have plenty of queens as well. I believe we're setting up for a Roach Queen push. We'll see if that's the case. As Eva, he's leading out more drones. Queens are getting ready to move out. More workers going down. Oof. But we do take down one of those Phoenixes. Good pick off. There it is. Roach is now on the way. Roaches are amassing, lair is done, and that means we can make Dropper Lords. Dropper Lords have suddenly become available, and Eva, he's not droning. Again, there's no reason to make roaches unless we're going for an all-in. And we spoke about it, because the center base was taken, it does mean that we have that launch pad to get across the map. Oh, and Firefly, he's taking, by the way. Firefly, he barely has an army. Uh-oh. And Firefly, yeah, he's being caught with his pants down. There is no army. This is it. 3 zealots. That's all he has. 3 zealots, 1 adept, a handful of archons. The all-in has arrived. And Firefly, he needs time. He desperately needs time, and again, he might have misread this a little bit. You see, he's desperately warping in, amassing an army, more archons on the way, more shield batteries as well. Eva, he has arrived, and he's knocking down this front door. There's the overcharge, desperately trying to buy some time. He needs time, papi. But time is not playing true. Time is not playing. The gateways are being knocked down. We're opening up the natural. Cybercore is under threat. The Phoenixes, they cannot touch this. The Phoenix is struggling to engage. Shield battery goes down. We are pushing in. Firefly dives on the army. Biles are going to connect. Ooh, they do connect here with the Archon. And again, no backup shield batteries. We are getting on top of the Queens, though. Firefly, he breaks through the defensive line of Queens, gets on top of the Raptors as well. He defends. He shuts down the all-in, despite not scouting it, despite not being prepared. And Firefly takes the series 2-0. I'm impressed. GG, mate. Firefly, remember, his army was 3 Zealot and an Adept. Plus the Phoenixes, to be fair, but like, he barely had a ground army. The push was moving out, and he did manage to hold on with those Archons, with those Zealots. May have lost gateways, may have lost shield batteries, but Firefly, he does take it. GG. Congratulations. Very well done. I wasn't convinced. I don't know if you can tell, I was not convinced there that Firefly was going to be able to hold on, but he does hold, and he wins it all here for offside. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Let's go. Let's go, Bobby. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for the $40 tip. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. All the money that we make here goes towards our tournaments, goes towards our events. Thank you so much for the support. And I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, because we have wrapped up day 2. Having a little bit of a closer look here at the bracket, we have Berserker Esports and Club NV at the top half of the bracket, followed by Twisted Fairy and Offside in the lower half. The big teams, the big dogs, they're facing off in the upper half of the bracket. No clear favorites. All these teams have some big names. You've got Club NV with Creator, with Dongray Gu. You've got Twisted Minds with Classic and Stats. And you've got Offside with Firefly and Rex. And even Euthermal as well. Meanwhile, we're done here for tonight. Tomorrow's matches are ahead of us. We have the Starving Camels versus Team Gosu. Starving Camels versus Team Gosu, that is an elimination match. That is to determine who is the first player knocked out of the tournament, followed by Hyperberg and Platinum Esports. Both of these matches are elimination matches. We will be saying goodbye to some of these teams tomorrow. We will be saying goodbye. So it's going to be a bit of a sad, a bit of a bittersweet day of StarCraft tomorrow in WTL. But be a part of it. Be there. We will be. We'll be there, and so should you. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it, as always. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. And again, WTL Code A is, I think, every single day. Let me just double check. It's quite a long code A here. So we have WTL tomorrow. Thursday we have off. Okay. We're taking a day off. Thursday there is no WTL. We're coming back on Friday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to be ending World Team League Code A in the next couple of days, in the next week. So yeah, plenty of StarCraft. Plenty of StarCraft is up ahead of us. More importantly, something to add. Tomorrow, there's something else starting. It isn't just Code A, but I believe ESL Master Spring. I believe the ESL Master Spring regionals are starting up tomorrow as well. Oh boy, that is going to be a massive event here. It is the most important tournament for StarCraft, whether you're in Korea, whether you're not quite in Korea, but whether you're in Europe, Americas, or in Asia. ESL Masters is on the horizon, all leading up to DreamHack Spring, or DreamHack Masters. DreamHack Dallas. DreamHack Dallas is at the end of the month, I believe. Be sure you're a part of it. Be sure you are a part of it. So yeah, something to look forward to. A lot of StarCraft, you know, ESL Masters, WTL, Stars War 11. That's a lot of StarCraft on the way. Look forward to it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings. Exclamation mark socials in the chat. I forgot to change the anonymous. All good, all good. Shout to Onside. Of course, I knew it was you guys. Shout to Onside. 안녕. 감사합니다. 감사합니다, papi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Papi. Awesome classing as always. Oh, thank you, papi. Thank you. Do appreciate it. And again, we'll see you guys tomorrow for day number 3 of World Team League Code A. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be heading off here. We're going to be going to bed. It's been quite a day of StarCraft. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, Hasta luego. Stick around. We're gonna be giving another soccer streamer a raid. We might raid for Jumi. I'll check who's streaming and we'll find someone. We'll find someone nice to send our love to. Thank you so much. Hasta luego. Bye. Hasta luego.